Did you know that the Gran Turismo movie is happening? Did you know its release date has been announced? Do you plan on going to see it when it's out? Did you know that Orlando Bloom would star alongside other great actors in this movie? Well, great news. If you don't know the answers to these questions, watch this video to the end and get ready for a treat. First up, what do you need to know from the quick overview of the movie? A long-awaited film based on PlayStation's Gran Turismo racing game franchise appears on the way. The film, titled Gran Turismo and directed by District 9's Neill Blomkamp, will be released by Sony Pictures on August 11, 2023. According to Deadline, Sony also provided a revised logline explaining the film's narrative. Based on an actual event, the film is the ultimate dream fulfillment tale for a young Gran Turismo player whose gaming abilities won a series of Nissan challenges to become a real professional racing car driver. If it seems familiar, it's because a Gran Turismo film based on this concept was explored nearly 9 years ago. It was confirmed in 2013 that it was in development. Gran Turismo game director Kazunori Yamauchi stated at the time that it would be based on the story of Lucas Ordonez, a Spanish driver. The latter progressed from Gran Turismo and Nissan's GT Academy competition to real-life racing at Le Mans and in the GT series. Ordonez is not the only racer who has taken this route. Brit Jan Martinborough won GT Academy a few years after Ordonez and went on to have a lengthier racing career, eventually finishing in Japan's Super GT series. As cheesy as the premise may sound, it's plausible, especially as the borders between virtual and real motorsport continue to blur. Sem Bolakbasi, a Turkish driver, recently graduated from Formula One's esports series to an entire season in F2. At the same time, F1 stars like Max Verstappen and Lando Norris are well-known iRacing participants. Up next, was the film always intended to be a movie? The Gran Turismo film was initially intended to be a television show. Sony later stated that it would be a film instead. The plot and the setting of the film have also been disclosed. Why has this film suddenly gained traction after sitting on Sony's to-do list for so long? For starters, Sony's PlayStation Productions department, which focuses on translating Sony's video game franchises into films, just had a decent-sized hit with Uncharted. Sony will be eager to mine this seam for more. For example, since Netflix's Drive to Survive docuseries drastically increased exposure of Formula One in the United States, racing movies are now in fashion and Hollywood. Apple just announced an agreement to develop an F1 film starring Brad Pitt, directed by Joseph Kosinski of Top Gun: Maverick. Meanwhile, Michael Mann has been able to bring his passion project Ferrari, a biopic starring Adam Driver and Penelope Cruz, back to life. Sony is undoubtedly hoping to capitalize on this trend with Gran Turismo. This will be Blomkamp's first video game adaptation, which may come as a surprise. The South African director is known to like video games and was assigned to make an ill-fated Halo film adaptation in the 2000s to be produced by Peter Jackson. Now, what do you need to know about Orlando Bloom in the Turismo movie? Did you know that elves had marketing skills? Orlando Bloom, a former elf, has joined the cast of Sony's Gran Turismo film. In addition, Darren Barnet, the actor in Netflix's Never Have I Ever, has also joined the cast. Bloom and Barnet will be joining Stranger Things star David Harbour and Midsommar actor Archie Madekwe, according to The Hollywood Reporter, via IGN. Harbour's involvement was disclosed last week, and he will co-headline the project with Madekwe. The film will be directed by Neill Blomkamp, best known for Chappie and Elysium, whom is most recognized for his role as Legolas in the Lord of the Rings trilogy, in addition to playing Will Turner in multiple Pirates of the Caribbean films. Bloom has also appeared in The Three Musketeers, Kingdom of Heaven, and Elizabethtown. In the 2010s, Bloom reprised his role as Legolas in the Hobbit trilogy. Bloom was most recently seen in the Prime Video series Carnival Row and the sci-fi romantic flick Needle in a Time Stack. Bloom's future projects include the flicks Red Right Hand and Wizards. According to the source, Orlando Bloom will portray a Hungary marketing executive selling the sport of motor racing and just might believe in its art as well. The film's production will begin next week with a release date of August 11, 2023. What do you think of the inclusion of Orlando Bloom in the cast? Let me know in the comments section. Are you planning on watching the Gran Turismo movie? We're sure it's going to be great, so keep watching along closely. We don't want you to miss out on what fans' reactions have been toward the upcoming film, so don't go anywhere. Up next, what are some other casts in the movie and their roles? David Harbour portrays a former racer who will serve as Madekwe's coach and teaches him how to drive. Barnett will represent a well-known race car driver, annoyed that Madekwe is stealing his glory. The scenario may appear exaggerated, but the actual and virtual racing worlds have already emerged. For example, Sem Bullock-Bassi, a veteran sim racer, has joined Charoux Racing System to compete in Formula 2 2022. Furthermore, Max Verstappen, the 2021 Formula 1 champion, has encouraged Rudy Van Buren, the world's fastest gamer, to join Red Bull as a sim tester and development driver. Sony appears to be pushing to adapt its IPs into films and television series everywhere. HBO is developing a program based on The Last of Us. Amazon is negotiating a God of War show, and a Horizon TV show is also in the works. But of course, the success of its Uncharted film might have been a driving factor. Up next, what have fans' reactions been towards the Gran Turismo movie? Do you think a lot of viewers were anticipating this movie? Well, do not go anywhere. We'll be finding out soon. What do you expect from this movie? Let us know in the comment section. According to several reports, some viewers think Gran Turismo is unique. Others say we do not need a Gran Turismo movie. So to which category do you belong? Let us keep going. Some also think that certain qualities make the film special because of its aesthetics, massive range of licensed automobiles, attention to vehicle detail, precise driving physics simulation, and the ability to tweak performance. Thus, the subtitle, The Real Driving Simulator, is integrated into the franchise's iconography. Keep watching along closely. We're about to tell you all about some of the flaws with the Gran Turismo 7 game. Everything from the microtransactions to the unjust price of some of the cars. So keep watching along so you don't miss out. So what's the issue with Gran Turismo's microtransactions? Did you know Gran Turismo 7's microtransactions are taking all the fun out of grinding? One of many's all-time favorite games is Gran Turismo Sport. It's sure to have gotten so many through pandemic lockdowns and bolstered their motivation when life seemed to be a never-ending stream of bad news and walled-in vistas. For many, GT Sport was also a high gaming point because it was the first time they learned racing lines and braking distances, culminating in a scorching lap of the tough Nürburgring Nordschleife. As a result, GT7 was one of so many's most eagerly anticipated games of the year. Are you a Gran Turismo fan? Lastly, what other issues have there been with the game? Despite receiving near unanimous acclaim, several parts of Gran Turismo 7 have alarmed fans, and these fears have only deepened. One of these is the emphasis on microtransactions, with Gran Turismo 7's grinding under assault. Grinding has been part of Gran Turismo since its inception. Players accumulated credits to buy car improvements or saved up enough money to purchase costly automobiles. They joined specific races again to do so more effectively. Although the repetitive nature of grinding may put some people off, it can be a feature, as grinding to level up became a trademark of the Final Fantasy series. The Ferrari 330 P467 in Gran Turismo Sport cost $20 million, which took a lot of hard effort and grinding. It took everyone a long time to build up enough credits to purchase it, but when the time came, we're sure it felt fantastic to see it pull into your garage. However, it's required to some level to compete in a historic race car series. If you had enough money, you could avoid hard labor entirely. GT Sport provided the opportunity to swap real-world money for its more costly vehicles. Many never splurged in this fashion, but it gave those who did not have the patience to grind it out the opportunity to buy them with cash. Gran Turismo 7, on the other hand, has swiftly acquired a reputation for making it more challenging to unlock vehicles during a massive 30-hour outage. And there you have it, everything you needed to know about Orlando Bloom joining Sony's Gran Turismo movie. And of course, that production begins incredibly soon. So be sure to like this video and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of our similar content.